Alright guys, today I'm bringing you a legendary item guide of Borderlands 3, and in this video we'll be looking at the Jacob shotgun and the Hellwalker. The red text on the weapon reads, "So, my demons, your time has come." And what's special about this weapon is when you fire it, it will play a sort of guitar sound. And as well as that, the pellets can fire in two different shapes. The first is a pentagram, which is associated with hell and the devil. And the second is the sigil of Lucifer, which again is also associated with hell and the devil. To get this weapon, we'll be farming the rare spawn known as Road Dog, who can be found on the Splinterlands. You want to spawn in at the Chop Shop Fast Travel, and then from here, if you look at the map, there's sort of a little road that connects two big areas of the Splinterlands. And in this in between, there's actually a spawn point you can hit, so you can spawn in here. And this is the closest spawn point I can find in order to farm Road Dog effectively. When you spawn in at the spawn point, you want to just arc a right, and then if you walk forward, you'll see there's a COV camp in front of you. But there's actually a part in the fence that you can climb, so you can avoid having to go all the way to the front gate, and then walking to the back, you could just make a straight beeline over the fence and to where Road Dog spawns. I do want to iterate that Road Dog is a rare spawn, so he won't always spawn every time you save and quit and spawn in. If you do run to where he spawns and he's not there, then you just want to save and quit and retry. Road Dog is one of the rare spawns that will spawn more frequently. Because the Hellwalker is exclusively incendiary damage, I decided to switch up where I was doing my mobbing for the gameplay, and I decided to use the Voracious Canopy, just because I wanted to avoid me having to show you guys either swapping to another weapon to destroy shields, or using the Hellwalker very slowly to remove a shield. So I decided to use the Voracious Canopy because most of the enemies there are just flesh based, and they don't have shields, so it's extremely easy just to go through and show you its effectiveness on these flesh enemies. The Hellwalker is one of those weapons that it was one of my first legendaries to actually drop, and it's stuck with me for so long. You may have noticed by the card that it actually shoots 10 pellets, so you're able to get a lot of damage off per shot, but with this comes a 2 magazine size, and the gun will also consume 2 ammo per shot, so you can only pull the trigger once per magazine. But this is basically negated though, just by the fact that the weapon has a 1 second reload speed, which is extremely good. You won't really notice yourself reloading too much. It just sort of acts like an intermediary reload animation, say like a Jacob's sniper has a cock animation in between shots. Because of this, you're able to shoot a lot of ammo very quickly. So the upside to this is you're able to get a lot of damage off. The downside to this is you'll probably run out of ammo very quickly. If you're shooting this gun every just over a second, then you'll be able to shoot off 120 ammo per minute. So that's if you just keep firing, and in 2 minutes you'll be out of ammo, which is fairly quick, especially if you're going through an area with enemies. However, with that, especially if you hit critical hits, you're able to offload tons of damage, especially if it's against flesh enemies with the incendiary damage. Even on Mayhem 3, it's able to do some work against some of these enemies, and even more so if you're able to up the incendiary damage that you deal. Say for example, if you have an elemental projector and you're able to set yourself on fire, you've got that plus 90% damage. Or if you're on Amara, you can switch to incendiary for action skill element, and you're able to deal more damage with incendiary through that. I think a popular use for this weapon was with Flak. Flak has some abilities that allows him to effectively not consume ammo, and he's able to fire a certain shot multiple times. And this becomes extremely helpful with the Hellwalker when only having 2 ammo in the magazine and consuming that 2 ammo per shot. Being able to regenerate just 1 ammo to allow him to get another shot off is extremely helpful to not only negate that reload in the first place, but you could just keep spam firing it, and you can get a lot of damage off much quicker than you would be able to. The burn that you'll deal with this weapon won't really be noticeable, just because of how much damage you'll probably do to the enemy anyway. If the burn becomes noticeable, then you've probably removed the shield from a flesh enemy, and at that point you'll be able to burn that enemy down very quickly, just because of how much damage the shotgun does. If you can, now that this gun is a dedicated drop, you definitely want to get an anointed version of this weapon. Say for example, being able to increase incendiary damage for a short time by X amount after action skill end or whatever. Just anything to add to this insanely good damage makes this gun even better. And if you can up that damage, then you can effectively use this gun no matter what, no matter if you're coming up against a shield, no matter if you're coming up against an armored enemy. This gun will just still do decent damage, especially on Mayhem 3. But other than that, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you found this useful. Make sure to subscribe for future legendary item guides on my channel. And yeah, see you in the next video.